Chosen one. Right now someone is losing sleep, running scenarios in their mind, but something went catastrophically wrong with their plan, because they had to face the simple, undeniable truth: you're the toughest spiritual heavyweight they've ever encountered. They expected another win, another broken spirit. But you're still standing. Obsession has set in. The trap they set became their own prison. Now you're going to see exactly how a spiritual heavyweight operates when apologies stop and authority starts. Your enemies operate on a frequency assumed to be universal. The belief system says if one person can read it, everyone must be broadcasting on it. That's how victories came before. Tuning into people's insecurities, fears, and weaknesses became a science. Finding the frequency and attacking relentlessly until the person breaks became the method. But when your frequency got scanned, only static came through. Nothing, just dead air. You're broadcasting on wavelengths their equipment cannot detect. Think about the spectrum of visible light. Humans can see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet. But colors exist beyond that range: infrared, ultraviolet, X-rays. These wavelengths exist with real power. Most eyes simply cannot see them. That's you spiritually. You're operating in ranges your enemies weren't built to access. This is why attacks keep missing the mark. This is why manipulation slides right off you. You're not playing the game others think you're playing. You're not even on the same board. And here's what remains unknown to your opposition. Here's what's going to break them completely. You're about to learn how to weaponize this advantage. You're about to discover that being unriddable isn't just defense, it's offense. When a heavyweight finally decides to throw their weight around, the entire landscape changes. Someone sized you up and made a move. The usual routine started. Manipulation, mind games, attacks designed to make you question everything. The expectation was simple. You would fold. That's what always happens with targets. Break them down mentally first, make doubt creep in, then move in for the kill. It's a proven formula that worked countless times before. But you didn't break. That's when frustration kicked in for your opponent, because now the effort intensifies and nothing works. Each attempt fails and confusion grows, so the strategy doubles down. Something new gets tried. That fails too. The cycle continues. Try, fail, get angry, obsess, try again. Before realization hits, a whole year passes. You've been monitored, stalked, thought about every single day. The trap meant for you became their cage. Obsession grew around getting you down, getting you off the market, getting you to quit, getting you to break. Because in their mind, conquering you proves superiority. Breaking a heavyweight validates their elite status. But a critical miscalculation was made. Your heavyweight status was unknown. The catastrophes thrown at you seemed like mountains to them. In reality, those mountains were pebbles. You kicked them out of the way without even noticing. This revealed something terrifying. The realization hit about how small their real power is. These same tactics took out giants before, but you operate on a completely different level. You're a heavyweight, and heavyweights don't just survive attacks. Attacks become warm-ups for what's coming next. Levels exist in this realm. Some people are foot soldiers, some are officers, some are generals, and then there are heavyweights, champions, the ones who get called in when everyone else has failed. That's you. You've been given clearance and authority matching your rank, but operation has been happening like a foot soldier, bending backwards, people-pleasing, letting things slide. Think of standing next to divine protection with a sword drawn. Your enemies keep charging forward. Would you be okay with that protection just letting them run past? Would tolerance exist for divine help that never actually helps? No, you'd be demanding that sword gets used. Well, you've been given weapons too, spiritual advantages, new gifts, fresh authority, and these weapons have been left in the holster trying to be humble, trying to be nice, trying not to make waves. That ends today. This is your season to use every advantage given to you. You have new vitality. New gifts that weren't active before are coming online right now. This is your time to slay giants, not just survive them, not just endure them, slay them. The things trampled under your feet until now were practice. Now you're entering the season where entire corrupt systems can be brought down just by speaking truth. Collectively, heaven is being brought down to earth. And as heaven descends, this world has to shake. Everything corrupt must go. Heaven and corruption can't occupy the same space. So when you operate in your authentic gifts, when you use the talents God gave you, you literally help pull heaven closer to earth. Reality shifts around you. The atmosphere changes. What was impossible becomes possible. Remember those colors mentioned earlier? That expanded spectrum you can see that others can't. It's about to manifest in your physical reality in ways people can't explain. You'll see opportunities completely missed by others. You'll perceive solutions beyond their comprehension. You'll move in timing that looks like luck but is actually you operating in frequencies beyond their access. You see openings before appearances. You hear invitations before words get spoken. Right now you're not just using these gifts, you're being generous with them. That's what makes you truly dangerous to the enemy. God didn't give you these abilities to hoard them. These gifts were given so flow can happen through you to others. You're looking good right now too. There's a confidence radiating off you, a magnetic energy that makes people want to come closer. Some want to come closer to love you. Others want to study you, to figure you out, to find your weakness. You don't have the weaknesses being searched for. Your frequency is unreadable. Your next move is unpredictable. Your breaking point doesn't exist where the search is happening. This creates obsession. Neutrality about you becomes impossible. Your heavyweight presence forces everyone to choose a side. Recognition of your rank and alignment happens, or opposition comes, and the discovery gets made about fighting way above weight class. If this touched your heart and mind, hype this video so more chosen ones can receive this message. When attacks came at you, tactics designed for ordinary spiritual combat got used. Punches meant for people operating at average frequencies got thrown. But you're not average. You never were. The problem is fighting has been happening like you were average. A heavyweight doesn't just have more power. A heavyweight has a completely different fighting style, different strategies, different instincts. When a lightweight throws a punch, landing hits becomes the goal. When a heavyweight throws a punch, ending the fight becomes the goal. That's the difference. Your enemies have been treating this like a boxing match with rounds and breaks. You're about to show them this is a championship bout, where one move can change everything. Wearing you down over time seemed like it would work. The thinking was if attacks kept coming, if pressure kept mounting, if manipulation kept intensifying, eventually you'd break like everyone else. But heavyweights don't break from accumulation. Heavyweights get stronger the longer the fight goes. Your endurance isn't just high, it's on a completely different scale. What exhausts others energizes you. What would make others quit makes you dig deeper. You've been in training your whole life for this moment. Every hardship was building your spiritual muscle. Every betrayal was teaching you to read your opponents better. Every season of isolation was developing your ability to stand alone when everyone's watching. Understanding didn't exist at the time. Survival seemed like the only thing happening. You were actually becoming dangerous. God is touching your life first. Miracles first, heaven-like experiences first. Not because you're better than others, but because positioning as a conduit is your role. Behind the scenes where full visibility doesn't exist yet, something massive is already in motion, a major opportunity, maybe a financial breakthrough, maybe a door opening that seemed permanently locked. New money, new resources, new connections are coming, and it's coming to you for a very specific reason. Some of you aren't just called to be spiritual heavyweights. Selection happened to be heavyweights in the business realm too. Leading organizations is in your future. Heading up things that serve communities is coming. Running operations that bring heaven down to earth in practical ways is your assignment. So get ready. Get your hands ready. You're about to reach into the pot and grab something that changes everything. People have been watching you slay giants without fully realizing what was being witnessed. Someone saw you stand up for yourself when laying down was expected. You proved your point. You spoke truth when lies would have been easier. You held your ground when backing down was the obvious choice. Somebody with influence saw that, and now support wants to flow toward you. A massive shift of favor is happening right now. Your enemies came up against you and got embarrassed in front of everyone watching. The people who were once in their favor are reconsidering everything. Watching you handle pressure that would crush others is happening. Watching you maintain peace while chaos swirls is visible, and the thought process is changing. Maybe backing the wrong person this whole time is becoming clear. All kinds of opportunities are opening up because of this shift. In work, in relationships, in creative projects. For some of you, leaving situations others swore you'd never leave became reality. Trapped was the verdict. You walked away anyway. For others, active attempts to run you off happened. Attempts to make you quit occurred. And now everyone can see stress, lost sleep and anxiety on their faces while you rest easy. Now let me tell you about the weapons you've been given that you haven't fully deployed yet. These aren't physical weapons. These are spiritual advantages that carry more power than anything in the natural realm. You've had access to them all along, but understanding how to use them is just now clicking into place. First, you have the weapon of discernment that operates beyond normal perception. You walk into spaces and immediately sense what's really happening beneath the surface. You interact with people and know their true intentions before words confirm it. You observe situations and see outcomes before manifestation occurs. This isn't paranoia. This is heavyweight level spiritual intelligence that your enemies can't fake or manipulate. Second, you have the weapon of divine timing. You move when heaven says move, not when pressure says run. You speak when anointing says speak, not when fear says stay silent. You wait when wisdom says wait, not when impatience says rush. This timing advantage has saved you from traps designed specifically for you. While your enemies were expecting you to react on their schedule, you were operating on heaven's calendar. Third, you have the weapon of supernatural peace that doesn't make logical sense. Your enemies threw chaos at you expecting panic. Instead, you remained calm. Attacks came expecting fear. Instead, you remained confident. Pressure mounted expecting breakdown. Instead, you remained whole. This peace isn't natural, it's supernatural. And it absolutely confuses your opposition because their attacks are designed to produce anxiety. When peace remains, their entire strategy falls apart. Fourth, you have the weapon of accelerated recovery. When hits land, and yes, some hits do land, your recovery time is remarkably fast. What would take others months to heal from, you bounce back from in days. What would sideline others permanently, you walk through and come out stronger. This rapid recovery makes you nearly impossible to keep down. Your enemies celebrate too early thinking victory is theirs, only to turn around and see you back on your feet already. Fifth, you have the weapon of divine favor that opens doors no human can close. Your resume might not be the most impressive, your connections might not be the most extensive, your background might not be the most prestigious, but favor overrides all of that. Favor gets you into rooms you weren't qualified for. Favor gives you opportunities you didn't earn. Favor positions you in places your credentials alone would never reach. And your enemies have no counter for divine favor. These weapons have been in your arsenal the entire time. But like any weapon, knowing you have it and knowing how to use it are two different things. You're entering the season where mastery of these weapons is coming, where deployment with precision is happening, where strategic use instead of random application becomes your approach, and when a heavyweight finally understands their weapons and uses them with skill, the opposition doesn't stand a chance. Now the invitations are coming. Other heavyweights want you in their circle. Come to this event. Apply for this position. Your name got crossed off lists before. Someone was supposed to contact you and didn't. Blocking happened on purpose. But now it's reaching you anyway, because the universe roots around obstacles when anointing is present. But while you're preparing to step into these new opportunities, let me show you what's happening on the other side. The person who thought a lightweight was being faced is hurting badly right now. Moving too fast happened. Revealing the hand before all pieces were in position occurred. Something shifted in you that wasn't expected. That one thing assumed to be your permanent weakness transformed. It evolved, it got healed, and giving up happened right before the breakthrough came. Now heartbreak is being experienced. not because you did anything to hurt them, but because their own energy boomeranged back to them. This is what they wanted for you. Heartbroken, betrayed, sorrowful and stuck was the desired outcome for you. But that energy had to go somewhere, and when you're a heavyweight protected by divine favor, negative energy sent your way doesn't land on you. It circles back to its source with interest. Someone broke their own heart trying to break yours. Coming up against a spiritual heavyweight created crying now. A brutal decision was made. A rash move occurred. Every trick got pulled out thinking you were figured out. Consequences weren't considered. Divine intervention saving you, protecting you, elevating you in direct response to attacks wasn't part of their calculations, and now intense regret exists. Coming up against you left a permanent mark. The feeling is intense, because a beginner thought taking on a champion was possible. Spiritual immaturity thought heavyweight power existed within. You made an intense, spontaneous cutoff. You were ambitious enough to walk away from something assumed to control you. You're going to take every advantage given to you, even if it pushes you far ahead of people who've been working longer. Take your place. If God said you're at the head of the line, don't let people from the back take your spot. Don't let guilt work on you. You know how people operate. Just let me go first. Just wait your turn. No, God said you're next. Hold your position. You're standing at a bank. A massive container of wealth opens up. God says you're next. Go reach your hand in. And someone else runs up talking about it being their turn. Absolutely not. This is specifically for you. This is your moment. Don't let anyone make you feel guilty about receiving what God has for you. What's coming for you is going to make some people mad, jealous, envious. Some will want to steal your spot. But it's yours. God already assigned it to you. So what's coming into your life, that big dream come true, that new vitality, you didn't pay for it. You didn't earn it through your own strength. It's a gift, which means you don't have the right to give it away just because someone else wants it. You have the authority to use it to the maximum. But you don't have authority to hand it over to people who want to take it. Your joy, your peace, your money, your opportunities, guard them, use them, maximize them. But don't let guilt or pressure make you surrender what God specifically gave to you. Now let me put you onto something real. Destiny Engine. I built this because I was done watching chosen ones get dragged through betrayal, isolation and attacks while their enemies strutted around unchecked. I want to help you accelerate the speed of your divine justice and step fully into your purpose. And the beauty of it, you don't even have to lift a finger. Destiny Engine takes their downfall and flips it into your rise. This isn't another meditation app. It's declassified consciousness technology, the same mind programming tools your enemies once used to install fear, competition and scarcity, re-engineered to restore your sovereignty and align you with the cooperative, upgraded operating framework. It generates personalized sequences mapped to your divine purpose. The hardest thing you'll do is put on headphones, press play and watch your enemies keep digging their own grave. The collective upgrade is underway. Start your Destiny Engine for $1 today and turn everything they did to break you into fuel for your rise. Link in the description. Here's what changes everything. The moment a heavyweight stops apologizing for being a heavyweight, you've been saying sorry for taking up space, sorry for having strong opinions, sorry for not breaking when breaking was expected, sorry for succeeding when failure was the desired outcome, sorry for being anointed when average was preferred. Stop apologizing. You don't owe anyone an apology for being exactly who God created you to be. You don't need to make yourself smaller so others feel bigger. You don't need to dim your light so others feel less dark. You don't need to hide your wins so others feel better about their losses. That's not humility. That's self-sabotage disguised as kindness. Real heavyweights own their weight. Pretending to be lightweights to make others comfortable doesn't happen. When a champion walks into a room, everyone knows a champion just arrived. Not because the champion is bragging, but because champions carry themselves differently. Movement is different, speech is different, operation is different, and you can't hide that kind of presence no matter how hard trying happens. Your enemies want you to keep apologizing because as long as apologizing is happening, attacking isn't happening. As long as guilt is felt, gifts aren't being used. As long as making them comfortable is the focus, keeping yourself uncomfortable continues. Convincing happen that your power is a problem, that your anointing is arrogance, that your confidence is cockiness. It's manipulation designed to keep the heavyweight benched. But something's shifting in you right now. Tiredness with playing small is setting in. Exhaustion from shrinking is real. Being done pretending you don't see what you see and know what you know is happening. The heavyweight in you is waking up, and when a heavyweight wakes up after being dormant, the entire atmosphere shifts. People feel it before seeing it happens. Your enemies feel it before any move gets made. You're about to be positioned as the teacher, not a student, not someone in the crowd. The teacher, the leader, the guide. Heaven is being brought down to earth collectively, and God is putting you in position to lead that charge. Teaching the class is needed from you, and here come people who are supposed to be students trying to teach you instead. How are they going to teach what isn't known to them? How are they going to teach colors their eyes literally cannot see? You're not just some random person who got lucky. You're introducing new things to earth that haven't been here before. Fresh revelation, new paradigms, elevated consciousness that this generation desperately needs. Everyone else is going to have to get in line behind you and learn. Some of you are about to be put in positions that will surpass people who've been waiting for a long time. You might be the one skipping the entire line, and people are going to have feelings about that. Unfairness will be claimed. Dues not paid will be the accusation. Lack of experience will be mentioned. But here's what's really happening. Some of you should have never been in a line in the first place. What God has for you isn't about waiting your turn. It's destiny. It's assignment. It's calling that existed before you were born. It's just that people see what God is doing in your life and attempts to jump ahead and claim it first occur. Blocking gets tried. Taking it for themselves becomes the goal. It's not going to work. You're the teacher now. You're the leader. You're the guide. This is why God put these specific things in your hands. God is trusting you with the mindset of entire new groups of people, new waves. You're in charge of shaping how thinking happens, so manifestation of heaven on earth in their own lives becomes possible. You're not just teaching information. You're transferring impartation. You're not just explaining concepts. You're activating dormant gifts in others. When a heavyweight teaches, something shifts in the atmosphere that goes beyond words. People feel it. People receive it. Transformation happens even if full intellectual understanding doesn't exist yet. This is what scares your enemies about your teaching assignment. One heavyweight can create multiple heavyweights. When you speak, you activate potential in people who didn't even know possession of it existed. Your words carry weight that lingers long after speaking happens. Trying to silence you was the strategy, because multiplication is understood. One heavyweight is manageable. A whole generation of heavyweights, that changes everything. So attacks came against your voice. Attacks targeted your confidence. Attacks aimed at your platform. Making you doubt whether anything worth saying exists became the goal. Criticism of your message happened. Mocking of your delivery occurred. Questioning of your qualifications was constant, all designed to keep you quiet. Because as long as silence exists, the next generation stays asleep. As long as teaching isn't happening, potential heavyweights remain as lightweights who never discover their true capacity. But you're about to open your mouth. Stepping into your teaching anointing fully is coming. Discovery that when a heavyweight speaks with authority, realms shift is about to happen. Destinies activate. Generations awaken. And your enemies can't stop it no matter how hard trying occurs, because this is divine assignment meeting perfect timing. The season for your voice has arrived, and no amount of opposition can silence what heaven has ordained to be heard. What are you producing moving forward with this new vitality God gave you? Remember, it's coming to you so it can go through you to others. That's not just money. That's higher knowledge, greater revelation, information that hasn't been released on earth yet. When you open your mouth and teach according to the way God is directing you, Shaping the minds of people coming in for the next wave of consciousness is going to happen. The mindset you help create, the language people will speak, the frequencies access becomes possible to. That's what brings heaven to earth in practical ways. Bringing it down together is happening, and you're helping architect that reality. Foundation is being laid that entire generations will build on. The understanding you carry, the colors you see, the frequencies you access, translation into language others can grasp is your job. You're going to make the invisible visible. You're going to open doors of perception that have been locked. Meanwhile, all the people who thought running things was their role are going to have to move aside, step to the side, or pull up a chair, sit down in the class, and actually learn something, because their time of dominating the conversation is over. Your voice is rising and theirs is fading, not because silencing them is the goal, but because truth naturally overpowers lies when the platform is given. Being a heavyweight comes with responsibility. You can't just carry power and keep it to yourself. You can't just access frequencies and never translate them. You can't just see colors others can't see and never describe them. That would be selfish. That would be hoarding. God gave you heavyweight capacity specifically, so carrying weight for others who can't carry it yet becomes possible. This is why teacher is the calling. This is why guide is the positioning. Not because perfection exists, not because knowing everything is reality, but because you've been where others need to go. You've survived what others are currently facing. You've overcome what others are still struggling with. Your testimony becomes their roadmap. Your breakthrough becomes their blueprint. It doesn't end when you're done. What you build outlives you. Who you teach continues teaching others. What you activate keeps activating. Heavyweight legacy compounds across generations. You're not just changing lives today. Shaping the future for people who haven't been born yet is happening through you. This is why your position matters so much. This is why taking your spot at the front of the line is crucial, because everyone behind you is watching. Everyone coming after you is learning. Everyone in the next wave is being influenced by how you move right now. Precedent is being set. Patterns are being established. Pathways are being created that others will follow long after you've moved on. Your enemies understand legacy. That's why trying so hard to destroy yours before building could happen was the strategy. Stopping you isn't just about stopping you. It's about stopping everyone you would have influenced. It's about preventing the chain reaction of awakening that happens when one heavyweight activates and then activates others who activate others. Stopping a movement by taking out the catalyst was the plan. But failure happened. You're still here. You're still standing. You're still activated. And now you're about to do exactly what was feared. Building a legacy so powerful that your influence echoes for generations is about to happen. Speaking words that get quoted long after you spoke them is coming. Teaching concepts that become foundational truths for those coming behind you is your destiny. Leaving marks on history that can't be erased is inevitable. This is heavyweight territory. This is champion-level impact. This is the kind of influence that makes darkness nervous and heaven celebrate. Because when heaven finds a heavyweight willing to carry the weight, willing to teach the truth, willing to activate the sleeping, that heavyweight becomes a weapon of mass awakening. You're free. You're moving. You're ascending to levels others said weren't possible. And as you ascend, watch what happens. The invitations that never came before are flooding in now. The opportunities that were blocked are suddenly opening wide. The people who ignored you are reaching out. The organizations that rejected you are reconsidering. Because favor is shifting in the spiritual realm and manifesting in the physical. The ones who were favored before are losing ground. And you, the one burial was attempted on, you're rising like the sun, not because political games got played, not because integrity got compromised, but because remaining exactly who you are through everything happened. Authenticity was maintained when fake was wanted, staying in your lane when pushing out was attempted, using your gifts even when no applause came, showing up even when feeling completely unseen was reality. And God saw every single moment, every tear cried in private, every time quitting was wanted but continuing was chosen, every prayer whispered when giving up felt inevitable. He saw it all. He recorded it all. And now it's time for the reward. Now it's time for the harvest. Now it's time for the vindication that makes everyone who doubted you go silent. The heavyweight championship doesn't go to the person who talks the biggest game. It goes to the person who can take the hits and keep moving forward. You've been hit from every angle. Attacks came spiritually, emotionally, financially, relationally. Everything you valued got targeted. The absolute worst got thrown at you. And you're still standing. That's not luck. That's heavyweight status confirmed. You were built for this level of warfare. Your spirit was forged in fires that would have destroyed others. Your faith was tested in ways that would make most people quit and never look back. But quitting didn't happen. Quitting couldn't happen, even when wanting to quit was strong. Because deep down, even in your weakest moments, something inside you knew you were called for more. Something inside you refused to accept defeat as your destiny. Something inside you kept whispering, this isn't how your story ends. And you were right. This isn't how it ends. This is where it begins. This is where stepping into the fullness of who you've always been finally happens. This is where stopping the small game and starting to operate at heavyweight capacity becomes reality. Stop asking permission to be great. Stop seeking approval from people who are intimidated by your potential. Stop shrinking your dreams to fit into their limited vision. The pot is opening right now. The blessings are coming. The doors are unlocking. But positioning yourself to receive needs to happen. Get your mind right. Cut off the energy drainers. Say no to opportunities that look good but aren't aligned with your purpose. Protect your peace even when people call you selfish for having boundaries. You're entering a season where everything you touch prospers, not because perfection exists, but because positioning is right. Alignment is present. Operating in your purpose at full capacity is happening. The seeds planted in secret are about to produce a harvest in public. The work done when no one was watching is about to be celebrated when everyone is looking. The prayers prayed in the dark are about to be answered in the light for all to see. So let me remind you where we started. Someone is losing sleep over you right now. Obsessing is happening. Plotting continues. Desperately trying to figure out how to stop you remains the focus. But here's what still isn't understood even after all this time. You can't be stopped. You can only be delayed. And even those delays were part of the plan. Preparing you, strengthening you, positioning you for this exact moment was happening. Everything you went through was training. Every battle was building your endurance. Every betrayal was teaching you discernment. Every closed door was redirecting you toward the right path. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was random. Nothing was punishment. It was all part of the process of becoming the heavyweight you were always meant to be. Now it's time to throw your weight around. Stop playing small. Stop hiding in corners. Stop waiting for the perfect moment that will never come. This is the moment. Right now. Today. This is when deciding that you're done letting people take what belongs to you happens. This is when deciding that using every advantage God gave you without guilt, without hesitation, without apology becomes reality. This is when deciding that your enemy's comfort is no longer more important than your destiny occurs. Opportunity to treat you right existed. Wrong choice was made. Now watching you rise to heights declared impossible becomes their reality. Seeing what happens when a heavyweight stops holding back is coming. Witnessing the favor that's been on your life all along, finally manifesting in ways that can't be denied, can't be explained, can't be stopped is inevitable. You're the toughest spiritual heavyweight ever encountered. Not because trying to be tough is happening, not because forcing anything is reality, but because that's what God made you. That's who you've always been underneath all the doubt and fear. Forgetting happened for a while. Letting their opinions cloud your vision occurred. Letting their limitations become your ceiling took place. Letting their smallness make you shrink was temporary. But that season is over now. Remembering who you are is happening. Waking up to your true identity is occurring. Seeing the colors others can't see is your reality. Hearing the frequencies others can't detect is your gift. Moving in dimensions beyond their access is your advantage. Operating on levels beyond their reach is your position. And there's absolutely nothing anyone can do about it, except watch in amazement and wonder how you keep winning against all odds. The answer is simple. You're a heavyweight. You were built for this. This is your time. This is your season. This is your moment. Take your spot at the front of the line. Use your gifts at full volume. Throw your weight around without apology. And watch how fast everything changes when stepping into the fullness of who you've always been called to be finally happens. The heavyweight championship belongs to you. Now go claim it.